When it all happened, I couldn't make a difference.
You kind of...
So I am here now. I'm going back. I'm gonna destroy Elvis.
I'm coming with you.
No, you're not.
I don't want any more regrets. Whatever it takes, count me in.
I just feel like the guilt of the protagonist is an overmined emotional exploit in a lot of media. Like, like, rather than try to dig at a more complex or nuanced emotion, you have people who really shouldn't be feeling guilty. And I understand guilt's irrational, feelings irrational, but like, if it's irrational, how much am I meant to relate to it? He's traumatized. He's been backflipping his way across the 7 seas for decades now. He saved the president's daughter. He has single-handedly destroyed entire zombie cults. You know what I mean? And also, Grace also hasn't done anything wrong. I feel like if you want some emotional poignancy, I want you to dig at something a little bit easier than like, why couldn't it have been me? Because if it was you, the other person who survived in your stead would be less goated. You know what I mean? Wouldn't you feel guilty if the same thing happened to you unironically? No? It was his first day on the job. He survived because he's fucking goated. What do you mean? Guilt? He's dedicated his life to fighting against Umbrella. I feel like survivor's guilt makes the most sense when, like, through circumstances entirely beyond your control, you survive, but people you care about die, and it's literally just luck separating you and them, and you feel like you're wasting the potential that was given to you. Like, to me, survivor's guilt would make sense if Leon was part of, like, an elite anti-zombie crack team back in Raccoon City, and all of his more competent teammates died, and since then he kind of like fumbled his way through, and his guilt is like, fuck, if any one of them had lived but me, they could have done more. But that's not what happened with Leon. He was a beat cop on his first day, and then he ended up being that guy. Any other person in Raccoon City wouldn't have been that guy. He was that guy, and he's continued being that guy for decades afterwards. You know? So I feel like it's just like, if you want emotional poignancy, you have to run at it from a different angle, because it's just not that legitimate here. And you can say like, well, you could feel guilty anyway. Yeah, but you could feel anything. He could be fucking horny. Oh, well, sometimes people just feel horny. Okay. Sometimes people just feel survivor's guilt. Okay. I want to follow through and relate to and understand the feelings, not just... He just doesn't see himself as that guy. That's stupid. He's an action movie protagonist. He backflips his way. Like, he solved multiple conflicts by firing a rocket launcher at the chest of the zombie leader. Like, anyway. He just doesn't seem like the right kind of character to be having that feeling, you know? He just feels guilty over not saving absolutely everyone, I guess. I know, but, like, that is objectively stupid. And you can be like, okay, well, people are stupid sometimes. Yeah, sure, but that doesn't mean it's going to be satisfying narratively. That's my point. Like, narratively, I just don't think it's satisfying for an action movie. He's like fucking... It's like getting a guilt, like a survivor's guilt feeling from in like the Predator movies or something. You know what I mean? It is an overdone trope. I feel like every protagonist is guilty. You know what I mean? Every protag in every series is guilty, no matter how much they're like, oh, why was it me? Why couldn't have I done more? And the shit they actually did was like save the world. Wouldn't him having all these superhuman powers put more pressure on him? He's not superhuman. He's literally just a human who tirelessly works day in and day out to protect the world from Umbrella bullshit. Just show a bit of confidence. I feel like Ethan is a much better candidate for survivor's guilt. You want a Duke Nukem protag? Dude, he's doing Duke Nukem shit. Like, whether or not he acts like Duke Nukem, he's doing the shit Duke Nukem is doing. I just don't see how one would be able to say, oh yeah, I did a lot of other stuff later in my life, but I don't feel guilty for my past self now. I genuinely think you're being dense. What the fuck are you talking about? He has literally never not been that guy. He's always been doing the most. He's nothing to feel guilty for. And the thing that separated him from his colleagues back in RE2 wasn't luck. It was him being fucking goated. It wasn't like he was with a team of super competent cops and like they all spared him, or like they were like shoving him down the river like baby Moses or whatever. You can survive, let you survive at least. He's always been goated. It's an overdone emotional trope. Stop arguing with me. You get what I mean about every protag being guilty these days, right? I feel like it's an attempt to make characters more vulnerable, but like, I don't know. If you're going to give a character an overriding emotion, it has to be justified in the context of the narrative. And if you're just throwing it in there because anyone can feel any way, then like, okay, sure, anything can happen.
Guess we're about to find out.
Leon could die of a pulmonary embolism right now, I guess. I mean, if they redid the original Star Wars trilogy, Obi-Wan would be like a grizzled, mournful veteran whose every other line is like a remorse over failing to prevent. If they don't say it's Anakin turning into Darth Vader, but like obviously later that's what you find out he's upset about. Like every other line would be like, I have to help you, Luke, to make up for the failures in my life, the people I've let down. And it's just fucking tiresome, man. They kind of wanted to make a parallel with Grace. She also feels a lot of guilt because of her mother's death. Okay, but that's also dumb. Okay, listen, how about this? If you want a character whose main emotional through line is guilt and resolving guilt, have them actually do some bad shit to feel guilty for. Why is everyone who's guilty? Have them do some bad shit then. Have them do a bad thing. If you want guilt to be the feeling so badly, have them do a thing to feel guilty for, rather than just relying on like, well, people irrationally feel guilty. Yeah, okay. Like, engage a little bit. I feel like everyone is so morally Puritan that if they had Grace actually do something bad, that's all anyone would ever know her by. Like, how about this, okay? What if she was a petulant, autistic little brat and she got her mom killed because she repeatedly refused to listen to her mom? Instead, she followed her mom's instructions diligently, went through the hotel with her, and then her mom died anyway for reasons that had nothing to do with Grace's decision-making or behavior, had everything to do with the decision-making of the mom. She only feels guilty because she was the one her mom was protecting. But all parents protect their children, ideally. Why not have her be, like, annoying to deal with? Why not have her ignore her mom's instructions and her mom dies protecting Grace, like, because Grace wasn't listening to her? Then the guilt would make perfect sense, and it would be a perfectly coherent emotion that I could engage with, and you could watch her grow out of it. But right now she's feeling guilty because the parent is... I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying there might just be a reason. You're infuriating. There's always just a reason. I'm saying it's not good. Yeah, you can always just be... People can just feel anyway. Okay, I'm not saying there's no reason if you want to twist the reasoning or whatever. Trauma ain't rational like that. You are fucking infuriating, dude. Sometimes writing is just bad. Sometimes writing is just bad and characters are just uninteresting, because, like, that's the way it is sometimes, you know? Narratives don't have to be interesting and characters don't have to be interesting. Like, all that matters is that it's technically possible that a person be uninteresting, and then it's fine that it's uninteresting. Like, oh my God. Stop. Like, I know it's technically possible for a person to be tedious, okay? I'm just critiquing its presence in my narrative. Maybe they thought that would have made her too unlikable. That is my point. If they had made Grace do something that actually justified all these guilty feelings, I feel like everyone would judge her for it, but that's the fault both of the writers and the audience. Because if Grace was insufferable to begin with, and this whole game is like her penance, like she's growing as a person, that would be way more interesting character-wise, because then you would experience like the legitimacy of her guilt. Because the only thing you can say right now in response to her guilt is like, that's irrational. You shouldn't feel that way. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. I am tired in narratives and in real life of telling faultless people it's not their fault. I'm sick of it. You insecure motherfuckers, you put me through this shit every day. Every day you go outside, you try to order a damn pizza, you try to take a walk in the park. Everyone's always going, it's my fault, it's my fault. Because nobody has any damn self-confidence. Give her a fucking reason to feel like it's her fault. So when she says, it's my fault, my mom died, I can go, yeah, it kind of was, but then I can engage with the emotional experience of watching her grow and develop as a person. And maybe she can become more courageous. And in the end, through both her own courage and her willingness to obey Leon's instructions in a critical moment, she can save both herself and Leon in a big final confrontation, thus redeeming her for her unwillingness to listen to her mother. This is like writing 101. Yeah, but I guess it's fine that technically she could just be poorly written. Like, theoretically, it's just possible she's poorly written. Sorry. Like, I mean, I just feel like it would make her more interesting. I don't even dislike her. I'm rooting for her. I'm just saying, like, you know, we need to, sorry, I'm almost done. We need to rediscover the art of having our protagonists sometimes be bad and unlikable and fucked up. This is what made Denji good. This is what made Asa good. This is the reason why I still like Luffy, even though One Piece has turned into a bit of a narrative mess. Because Luffy being stupid and belligerent isn't always played off as a laugh or a joke or whatever. Oftentimes it's actually really inconvenient. I feel people are all, it's all fucking Demon Slayer shit these days, where like the main characters are perfect, and if they ever make a mistake, it's because they weren't perfect enough, but they'll vow to be more perfecter in the future or whatever. You know? It's like people are unwilling to engage with the nuance of the fact that like people going through these circumstances in real life are often not great people. You know, they can be better, but they need to be bad so the goodness means something. I think you mean My Hero. I mean, also My Hero Academia, but also Demon Slayer. Right? I think they both fit there. They even kind of look the same. Midoriya and fucking whatever his name is. Shonen's an emotionally stunted genre by design. This is also the reason why I'm upset with the Chainsaw Man ending, because we didn't get to see the sort of dialectical conclusion to Denji's mindset clashing with reality. Denji never has the moment where he realizes that he's using his Chainsaw Man fantasy as like a escapism bit to avoid dealing with reality. Like, we know it as the audience, but he doesn't get to experience that. So we don't get to see him engage with it, which means that functionally, from the perspective of the audience, we never see him develop in that way. He has sex and realized it's mid. Okay, genuinely though, there are a million ways that could have played out for him, but an arc where he finally fucks and then has an emotional breakdown afterwards, I feel like they kept building to that too, because he was not happy after that hand job in the alley. I'm sorry, this must be like really confusing if you haven't read part 2. It's fine. You haven't? Thana! Well, it's an interesting narrative experience, at least. The only manga that hit the beat for me was watching Guts grow in Berserk. Yeah. It's like, you know, it's the, like, Berserk is like a big, bloody, violent romp, but the thing everyone remembers from Berserk most poignantly isn't his big sword swings. It's him growing to love the people around him, rebuilding the Band of the Hawk, developing like a nurturer's instinct, caring for Casca, so on and so on. That's what everyone remembers from it. That's the real peak. That's like Giga Peak. Hyper Giga Triple Mega Peak, man. That's what, it's not about the sword swings. Even though Dandadan, the manga, has taken a fat shit in its fucking diapers, the mangaka was onto something when he pointed out that the point of Shonen is romance. All violence is about romance. All stories are about romance. Love is all there is in all the world, okay? It's the... Kanban Spark, I understand what you're saying. I'm just trying to think of ways to make the narrative a bit more engaging on that front. And also, listen, all I can say is this. If I was a father, and I had a little daughter, and I died protecting her from some monstrous supernatural threat, I would not want her to feel guilty afterwards. From the afterlife, I'd be like, you dumb bitch, you literally did nothing wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I understand human emotions, irrational, blah, blah, blah. But from the afterlife, I would be like, dude, what the fuck? You were like 6. Like, literally, what were you supposed to do? Come on. Yeah, I'd make her feel guilty for something. I'd make her feel guilty for feeling guilty. Yeah, what are you doing? Making this about yourself? Why not let your overriding emotion be like, damn, my dad sure fucking kicked that guy's ass for a sec. Feeling guilty about your mom, have you done the dishes lately? So fucking true, dude. When chuds on Twitter are like, I would die for my family. Oh, would you wash the dishes? Fuck off. Guys love to make these bold, like, proclamations of devotion in abstract situations that are never going to happen. Will do nothing to keep the day-to-day alive. You know what I mean?